After getting myself into the Metroid series, I first discovered the series through Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and I thought the character Samus was really cool. I loved her moveset, her weapons, her final smash, and her personality. I played through the Metroid theme stages, and I thought the music and backgrounds were also really cool. 9-year-old me thought, hey, this looks awesome, I want to play those games. Growing up in Pro Ultimate, I've been wanting to play all the Metroid games, but here's the problem. I didn't know where to start. There's like 15 games in the series so far, with Prime 4 still on the way. I had no idea which one to play first. Then Nintendo released Dread. This was my first Metroid experience ever. Even though I didn't know jack about the series, I was not lost at all. Take notes, Marvel! Thanks to Rookie Mode, I was able to enjoy the game a little bit more as it was a little bit hard before they added it. The world was fantastic, the boss fights were hard but fun, the gameplay was great, and it easily became one of my favorite video games of all time. When I beat Dread, I checked out the other games that were available on Switch. I just beat Fusion this year too, thanks to the Game Boy services. Then, suddenly out of the blue, they remastered the original Metroid Prime. I looked for it everywhere. I finally bought the game, played it, and what did I think of it? I prefer Dread over it. Hold on a minute! Before I say anything, I want you to know I'm new to the Metroid series. I don't know any better. If you want to disagree with this, go ahead. Just be civil about it. We all have opinions. And I'm willing to bet if I said this on Twitter, everyone would want me nailed to a cross. But luckily, I'm not on Twitter as much, so I don't have to worry about it. I have perfect explanations on why I think Dread is superior to Prime. Hell, I have 5 of them. So, without further ado, these are the top 5 reasons why I think Dread is better than Prime. Number 5. The gameplay. To be fair, I like Prime's gameplay at first, but when you play so much of it, it gets very boring after a while. Not to mention it's frustrating when you fight the same enemies over and over again. Dread, however, is more fun and vibrant. It's fast-paced, it's exciting, it's more creative, and it's exceptional. It felt more like a 2D Doom game. Even though the boss fights are hard and the enemies keep respawning like in Prime, it's more fun to fight them than it is in Prime. Number 4. The world. I'm gonna say it. The world in Prime is boring. It felt like Zack Snyder stuck into the production of the game and made it as bland as possible. Not only that, it's not fun to travel where you have enemies on your ass every minute. And it's very easy to get lost. Also, why is it so moody all the time? Did the nihilist for the Big Lebowski make that world? Dread's world, however, is more colorful, beautiful, fantastic, vibrant, creative, and pretty. Every time I died in the game, it's probably because I was admiring the effort they put into the backroads. I mean, just look at them! God, they're amazing! The enemies. Allow me to show you the difference between Dread's enemies and Prime's enemies. First, here's Prime's. Now, here's Dread's. In Prime, the bugs are annoying! They're not fun to fight, they're too fast, and they keep popping up no matter where I go. I really wanted to like the bosses in Prime, but if I'm being honest, they look more like those monsters from that hallucination scene Beavis and Butthead Do America. Dread's enemies, however, are more fun to fight. They're more than just bugs. There's creatures, monsters, robots, guards, you name it. And don't get me started on the enemies. They're cool, but man, they're douchebags. And that's where they're my favorites to fight. Yeah, they're scary and frustrating, but that's the fun of them. I'll take those turns for Portal as teenagers over these stupid bugs any day. The exploration. The world in Prime is not fun to explore at all. You have to find the weapons you lost in the crash. Some areas require you to find the weapons you need to find in order to get through. Some places are impossible to jump to. They feel small and crowded. It takes forever to find new areas because you keep ending up in the same locations. And as I mentioned earlier, the world is boring! Dread, on the other hand, is a more fun world to explore. You can find new weapons and upgrades, kill enemies, learn about the area you're in with help from Adam, and find new things you haven't seen before in them. Even though it's a 2D game, the exploration is more accessible and vibrant. And now, the number 1 reason why Dread is better than Prime! The story. pretty much after you leave space, the game pretty much goes downhill. The more I think about it, Prime's story is just gone once you land on Talon 4. Even though you come across bosses, the story is just nowhere. No build-up, no explanation of how Talon 4 was made, nothing. It's just nothing but running around and getting lost everywhere you go. Dread's story? Much better. The story progresses better the more you play, there's a really interesting character you meet along the way, the cutscenes are great, the world is incredible, and the ending? I'm not giving it away, but there's a big reveal at the end before the final boss, and trust me, your mind will be blown. Now that I've given my reasons of why Dread is better than Prime, does that mean I hate Prime? Well, I just honestly think it's overrated. I respect what it's done for the series and FPS games in general, but as I stated earlier, the story goes nowhere, the enemies aren't that fun to fight, the world's bland, the exploration's frustrating, and the gameplay gets boring after a while. I wanted to like it, I really did, but it just kept getting boring the more I played. Dread, on the other hand, was more fast, accessible, fun, creative, and action-packed. It's just better in every conceivable way. Unlike in my video years ago where I compared Arkham City to Breath of the Wild, I love both games even though I thought Arkham was a little bit better. This time around, it's a case where I loved the game and didn't like the other. I honestly think Dread should take the title of Best Metroid Game over Prime. Because the praise Prime gets has gone on long enough, I think it's time Dread should be the crowning achievement of the Metroid series. Sorry if I sound hypocritical on this, but it's just my silly opinion. Like I said earlier, I'm new to the Metroid series, and I play whatever game was on the Switch. So here's my rating on the Metroid games I've played so far. Yeah, that's how much I didn't like Prime. If you like Prime, however, that's awesome. More power to you. But what do you think of my take? Do you like Dread over Prime, or do you think the opposite way? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.